Or it's not. Okay, good day everybody. Heuntz here, and welcome to Stardew Valley, our history talk forum. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, and don't forget to leave your history questions down below. Today, we will be discussing big business and organized labor. Most likely more of the big business this time. But this is actually a lecture from one of my history classes that I teach. So, yay history, yay teaching. So this will actually end terrible. So, sit back and let's get on to the show. We're on day 4 of summer. Yay, summer. We got some cauliflower growing, well, pickling. Weather report. It's going to be beautiful and sunny. It is always sunny on this map. Holy moly. Welcome back to Wellbrick's Oracle. Spirits are very happy. Yay, happy spirits. Living off the land. Here's a rundown of the fish you can only find in summer. Dorado, found in the forest rivers during the day. Rainbow trout, found in forest rivers in the mountains during the day. Pufferfish, found in the ocean. Octopus, found in the ocean during the morning. Catch them while you can. Oh, hey, that's good, actually. So let's water our new crops. So many whoops. The sounds you make when you water your plants. Whoop. Oh god. No! Don't waste the water. Alright, so for us today, let's see. Need to water this for the blueberry, and then I forget, what are we growing here? Well, when we head to the general store, I was forgetting its name. We will pick up some seeds. Ooh. Found a grape. It's grape-tastic. Found another grape. Ooh, that reminds me. What does the community bundle look like? Nope. Oh, we need hot peppers and tomatoes. Summer. Ah, we need a spice berry. Not a grape, but a spice berry. Alright. Alright. So, we definitely need some peppers, and we need some tomatoes. I think on one side it's growing tomatoes, but I'm not sure. Not sure at all. Ooh, a new daily quest. Ooh, it's Jazz's birthday. Oh, no, daily quest. I need carp for a casserole in making. Linus. Okay, Linus. We might have a carp. So we need some tomato seeds. See, they take 11 days to mature and continue to produce after first harvest. Oh. Let's see. Oh, we can make radishes too. Poppy seeds. Spangle seeds. Hop starters. Oh. And corn seeds. Oh, corn is actually going to be useful. Now, it doesn't make much, but it takes 14 days to mature and continues to grow after first harvest. And it grows between the seasons, so yes. Let's pick up 2 of those. To get as much corn as possible will be useful. Now let's see if we can catch some octopus. Octopi? Octopi. It said ocean fishing at day. Well, morning. It's still morning. Morning is up till noon, right guys? I think so. Let's go deep fishing. and see if we can get some octopus. And as we discuss, we will be going over big business as the first lesson. And if anyone wants to follow along, I'll actually put the textbook I use down below. Wait. Never mind, I don't think I'm actually allowed to do that for plagiarism reasons? I actually don't know if I'm authorized or allowed to by the publisher to put down the book. I would think I would be able to. Ooh, we got a red mullet. Nice. Actually, I'm not sure if I can or not, so I'm not going to say the name of the book. Maybe you want to check. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Oh, this fish is biting us. Do you think it's an octopus? No. Oh, wow. Okay, fighting fish. It's a halibut. No, but how did big business come about? Well, the idea of big business that we know of it, and big business being trusts, monopolies. Hey, we got a tuna. We got a tuna. Nice. So big business thinking of J.P. Morgan, Ford, Tire King. Not Tire King. Let's see, Einstein Electric. No, but so Target, Staples, Walmart, that type of big business. But hey, more red mullet. But an even bigger business than that. So you know Walmart. Walmart is everywhere. If you don't know what Walmart is, it is a giant supercenter that seals everyone's souls away. But fishy fish. Another red mullet. Okay, so you have one more chance in the morning to catch a fish. But this big business is not just one business. No, they own multiple. Aw, okay, no more fish. No, they would own multiple organizations. So you'd have one being. Let's see. What's one good company if I look through this? Standard Oil, would it be? No. You know what? Sure, we'll go with J.P. Morgan. Here's a big, large U.S. industrial, corporate, engineer, manager, hedge fund, creator. He was one of the richest individuals in U.S. history. His corporation was from 1890 to 1913, so it's only about 20 years, had 42 major corporations organized or underwritten by them. So they had the American Bridge Company, Telephone and Telegraph, Federal Steel, General Electric, United Dry Goods, United States Steel Corporation, the Reading Railroad, yes, that was a thing, Southern Railroad, that, like 20 different railroads under his control. So he did not only own the railroad, he owned the telephone, so the telephone lines for communication, steel companies to produce the railroads themselves. He also had, oh, hey Leah, let's give you a grape. This is a really nice gift, thank you. He owned the bridge company, so if you had to get from place A to place B, you not only need the train, but to go over water or canyons, you had to cross a bridge. He owned that bridge to begin with. So, yeah, it was a monopoly in owning every single aspect of a corporation. So not just Walmart being a supercenter store, they own the farm, they own the farmers, they own the food that is produced, the farms, they own the food that goes to the cows. They own not just that, they own the slaughterhouses, the packaging, and then selling it all to you. That is the kind of in-depth ownership that J.P. Morgan's company controlled. And that's what we mean by big business in this discussion. So a corporation not just owning one aspect, but owning almost every single aspect there could be. Okay, let's almost sell everything else. Foraging goods. Grapes are fruit. Let's see if we can find any more spice berries. And we will also chop down some trees. So we're going for 2 bundles. But how did all this come about? Because before, the idea of big business, you had private individuals owning all this. Now, JP Morgan was started by a private individual, but it turned out to be a whole corporation in the end. But instead of having millionaires, multimillionaires, billionaires in that term or sense, like say our founding fathers who are extremely well off and wealthy, you would have the big business. And that came from and started thanks to the second industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution was in the 1700s and early 1800s, where it got ideas like the cotton gin, the beginning use of coals, beginnings of factories, more using machines to do the goods and productions and work ethic that humans would do in 3 to 5 times the normal pace. So cotton gin is a very good example. The second industrial revolution was taking the concepts of using new age technologies to better livelihoods and use it more in a technical industrial idea. So, second industrial revolution can be characterized, instead of the cotton, it would be railroads. So, trains would be huge with the second industrial revolution. It would be telephone. So, you're not just connecting your one little town together. You can connect, so, New York City all the way to San Diego, and you can have a conversation with each other. Still might have a odd lag, but you can also travel across the entire country of the United States in a lot shorter time than a couple months. Take it like a week. And you can only take one train to do it, so you only would need one train to do it. So that is the concept of the second industrial revolution. And it came around, it's also known as the technological evolution. So, lights as well, power, electricity, what is an aftermath of the Civil War, so 1865, and the Reconstruction, which ended in 1870-75. Because the United States suffered the Civil War, a lot of lives lost, but it did bring about new ways and new business practices. The entire South had to be rebuilt. And the time period is from 1870, so beginning to the end of the Reconstruction period, up to World War II beginning. I mean, not World War II, World War I beginning. Because, of course, the next time period is going to be World War I, and then after that, it's aftermath. So you kind of don't have a revolution. You're going to have a huge technological innovations afterwards, because of war, but that's the time period of the Second Industrial Revolution. And as I said, it would take local communities. So, what's a good local community people might know? Oh, we'll continue with the New York reference. So, say Manhattan. Small, local. It really doesn't have connections to the outside world. Okay, it really does. It has large connections. But in this concept, we'll keep it as not many connections. Now, Manhattan is not just Manhattan. It will service all of New York. It can even service Florida, Illinois, New Orleans, and California. So it brings it up to not only a state level recognition, but also an entire country level recognition, and possibly even the world, because New York would then boom out and have market share or production share its talents to major European cities like England, Paris, Berlin. Could even go to China, Beijing, which wasn't really a big city in the early 1900s. Tokyo, Kyoto, Seoul, just that idea. So it is both no longer local, but is a world domination center. And the big drive was, of course, transportation was a huge aspect of the Second Industrial Revolution. So roads, steamboats, giant canals. So the Erie Canal, if you're up north, Midwest, the Great Lakes area, and then railroads, of course. And the U.S. government was heavily involved in the Second Industrial Revolution, and encouraged railroads to be built by giving huge, massive discounts, labor costs, tax incentives, just in case. I'd also buy land at the cheap to encourage railroad construction, one being the Transcontinental Railroad that connects the east to the west, so you'd have one railway that goes from the Mississippi River all the way to California. Ooh, we can pick a profession. So, forester, worth 50% more. Gatherer, chance for double harvest of foraged items. Well, we don't sell wood at all. So why would we go forester? Gatherer seems like a better idea because, well, we do harvest some things. So I'll go gatherer. We sell fish. Ooh, seaweed's worth a little bit of money. Fishing. Broken glass. I didn't know I sold that. Red mullet, 186 per. Silver halibut was 100. Not bad. And then you also have the federal government putting on high tariffs on foreign goods and companies to protect American industry. So instead of U.S. inputting, well, we're actually going through that right now, a tariff war, one could say, where you put on high tariffs on a foreign good, so cars, to make it more expensive for U.S. personnel, people, consumers, to purchase those goods. Instead, they'll purchase and focus more on American-made goods because they should be cheaper, in quotation marks. Nowadays, with such a globally connected society, economic-wise, not really as effective, I think, looking at a historical perspective. But at the same time, I could be wrong. It'd be interesting to see what actually happens. So you have the U.S. government helping out big businesses. Farming's so peaceful. So let's see, those are tomatoes. Ooh, we can already have our first harvest of the year. The season. What do you think we're harvesting here, folks? Requires a scythe. We got wheat. Nice. 2 silver wheat, too. Very nice. So we'll sell that. And then go get more seed. Ooh, a cloud. We got some money, so let's see if we can pick up any more seeds. I'm surprised we have not seen a spice berry yet. So, some of the huge technological advances of the Second Industrial Revolution, in the 1870s, you had automatic signals, air brakes, Open hearth process and steel mills, the telephone, electric light, and the typewriter. So communication extremely, extremely easy in the 1870s. And then also start increasing safety of locomotive and trains. The 1880s, you get the invention of the elevator. So now you can go up 30 flights of stairs riding in a car instead of walking up 30 flights of stairs. If anyone's ever walked up 30 flights of stairs, I do not recommend it. No, I don't want to buy it. Shoot. I'm like, why am I purchasing this stuff? Wheat seeds, extremely cheap. And it takes 4 days. Let's do some radishes. And then 1 pepper seeds. So a mix of goodies. Why did I do that and not just everything? Because I accidentally clicked tomatoes and like, you know what, let's just go for everything. And in the 1890s, you have the invention of motion pictures. An electric generator. So modern household can start using refrigerators instead of ice boxes, washing machines inside their homes because of electrical generators. So appliances. Everyday life becomes much easier thanks to the Industrial Revolution. Kind of cool, huh? And some of these inventions are coming years before you might actually think they were invented. AKA, I would say washing machine, the refrigerator. I mean, ice boxes you might think of and know, but really? A refrigerator? Already? Huh. At least that's how I think of it. I kind of want to make a golden field of wheat. Hey, Sierra. For the funsies. We'll save 1. And then, of course, with all the technology, you have the massive, massive increase of the railroad. So transportation will become the key aspect, and a huge growth to both technology. That is usually the case. Transportation will lead to a boom of both technology, infrastructure, economy, and everything else. And a transportation of ideas. Think of the airplane. Made transcontinental flights much more common and user-friendly. You can now go from Europe to America in under 9 hours. Instead of the days to weeks it would take on a plane, you can now do it in the mere hours. So one could work, hypothetically, and that was the way of the future, scientific thinking of what the future would be like, that one person could live in New York City and actually work in London and fly back and forth in a day. We know we haven't even got to that point yet. Well, I mean, you could through computers. And that's technology through communication. But that was the idea. And this would did with the railroad. Instead of you being stuck and only selling your goods in New York, you can now easily transport and sell them in California. You can even go intercontinental, so go Canada. So in New York it might be easier. So Florida, you might not really sell any of your goods to Canada. Well, with the railroad, you can actually have a transportation network and sell all your goods very easily into Canada. New York would be for Mexico. That type of stuff. So, why were railroads easily produced? Well, one, every big business. Business owned the steel mills. By owning the steel mills, they can sell steel at cheap, which went to producing the railroads. Thus, then they will own the railroads, and you have a cycle. But also through the technological revolution, industrial age, it became cheaper, much cheaper to produce the steel it would require. You can make 10,000 beams of steel, rolls of steel. I'm not a steel guy, so I don't know the correct terminology. But you can make it, say, at $50 a roll by 1870, when in 1840 it was $450 a roll. So now you can make 9 times more steel for the price that you could have won in 20, 30 years before. That's the kind of thing that led to massive, massive growth. So, yay, growth. Cool, we have enough wood now for the next level of construction. Get that bundle. All we'll need next is, hey, a hat store. Ooh, cute little mousey. Watermelon band. Aww. Hats. You can buy hats. So cute. So cute. And then with the revolution, the age, you also get the rise of very, very rich millionaires, but also the federal government gains strength in the economy and the economic field. So you have some people who became very, very wealthy and made great inroads in the Industrial Revolution. Second one would be like guys like Jason Gold and Cornelius Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is a much more known name nowadays. Well, thanks to the university, of course. But Gold was a leading American railroad developer and speculator. Excuse me. Ugh. He's referred to one of those ruthless robber barons of the Gilded Age, whose ex had made him one of the richest men of the era. Yeah, we won't really get into that at the moment. Cornelius made all of his wealth in railroads and shipping. He is best known for the New York Central Railroad. These are guys who got into steel and railroads very early, owned a lot of them, and made a lot of money. But for the federal government, it started to gain its footing to combat and get more regulation. One being the Interstate Commerce Commission, because before, you had trade being more localized. So New York might expand to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Rhode Island, maybe. But now New York also had markets in Illinois, Montana, Idaho, New Orleans, and California. So how can you make sure you are not getting price gouged, or say a company in New York wasn't getting itself run out of business in California for unfair practices or something like that? So Congress creates the Interstate Commerce Commission in 1887. The original purpose is to regulate railroads and later trucking to ensure fair rates to eliminate rate discrimination. So one being, say, I owned Railroad A, Warlock Kadash owned Railroad B, Silocat owned Railroad C. Silocat and I would get together and say, we own these two railroads that intersect Warlock Kadash's. If he wants to run his trains on a railroad, he would have to pay X price times 10. While, say, Chronoside would only pay 1% of the normal fee because we liked him, and he also greased our backs. That's unfair price competition. The Interstate Commerce said, no, if any individual rides the railroad of A, B, C, or road mine and Silocats, we would have to charge everyone the exact same price. And then when 1906 came around, when cars and how big cars got, the ICC went on to regulate most forms of interstate trade, so trade within the United States, to make sure if you bought goods in New York City or New York, it'd be the same price in California instead of being 10 times the normal value. Yeah, I mean, you had somewhat of that nowadays, where some prices might be a little different thanks to taxes or other ways of transportation. But usually, if you go to New York, you will buy a pizza for $10. If you go down to Florida, you'll buy a pizza for $10. That same pizza will not cost, say, in Florida, $50, while New York would be 10. Owl. We see an owl. There's an owl there. Oh my god, I've never seen an owl in this game before. Owl! Where are you going, owl? I'm following you. Ooh, you're taking us to the docks. And then other things that Congress did was like the Sherman Antitrust Act, which was made, to make sure that it prohibits certain business activities that federal government regulators deem to be anti-competitive. So me and Salakat came together to force Willa Kadash to sell his goods or run him out of business. The government can now make sure and pursue and charge people for crimes if they were being unfair practices. This to ensure competition and make sure no one's getting their pants thrown out of them. This is a very interesting time. You get the rise of, as at JP Morgan, you also get the rise of Rockefeller, who founded Standard Oil. Now, a lot of these companies were under small names, one being Bell Telecommunications. Nowadays, those companies were broken up. Ooh, wheat cells, not too bad, for something that's cost 10 gold. They're still around today, but they got broken up because of trust. They're too large. Now you have Bell Communication, you have AT&T Wireless, AT&T. These companies that we know were once part of these big corporations. Another one being General Electric, was under JP Morgan. Now it's there by itself. So oil companies, Chevron, Mobil, all of them could have been under one, like Rockefeller, but because of antitrust laws, they got broken up for a fair competition and price. And that all comes from the 1800s, 1890s through the Second Industrial Revolution. So nowadays, you really don't have giant monopolies. Now you can assume like that there are a few, like Google, Amazon, Comcast, Verizon, those who have large market shares, but they're not monopolies because you still have a choice to go to a different corporation. Or the illusion of choice. And that illusion comes to my comments on Comcast, which I'll not get into. But that is all for today, folks. I hope you'd enjoy both playing Stardew Valley, getting summer underway, and a little bit of history in the making. So, until next time, don't forget to leave a like, hit that subscribe. I'll see you later, alligators.